The political fallout continues after the historic conviction of former President Donald Trump. But polls suggest the felony conviction really hasn't done much to sway voters.
Meanwhile, President Biden dealing with his son's legal problems while ramping up his campaign here and overseas. NBC's Alice Barr has the latest on what's happening with presidential politics from Washington.
In the wake of his hush money trial conviction on all 34 felony counts, former President Trump saying he thinks the public would reach a breaking point if he's sentenced to prison or house arrest.
That could happen. I don't know that the public would stand it, I'm not sure the public would stand for it.
Since the verdict, Trump supporters have posted violent threats online against the judge, jury, and prosecutors. The former president's sentencing date is July 11th, just 4 days before the start of the Republican National Convention, when he's set to be officially named the party's presidential nominee.
There's no doubt that this verdict has actually brought unifying our party. Without any question, what we've seen is never Trumpers calling me and saying, Tim, I'm on the bandwagon now.
House Republicans calling for the Manhattan District Attorney and lead prosecutor to testify on Capitol Hill. A new ABC News Ipsos poll shows 50% of American adults surveyed right after the verdict believe it was correct. Democrats adamant the trial upheld the rule of law.
It's pretty simple. And that jury was selected in part by Donald Trump and his attorneys. They vetted each of the jurors. He had every right that every other criminal defendant has in that courtroom.
It all comes as jury selection begins today in Delaware for the trial of President Biden's son, Hunter Biden, on federal charges related to a gun purchase in 2018. He's accused of lying on a government form and buying and owning a gun while using illegal drugs. The president's son has pleaded not guilty. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
And sources are telling NBC News the Biden campaign does plan to stay relatively quiet about what's happening with that Hunter Biden trial.
Meanwhile, the president heading overseas this week. He's set to give a speech on Thursday in France to mark the 80th anniversary of D-Day.